Hello, and welcome to this session of Eberron, being played with D&D 5e. We are playing in the city of Sharn. This is a kind of a investigation game. This session is part of the Gauntlet Gaming Calendar, which is an online gaming club / community. You can find out more about that at gauntlet-rpg.com. We have podcasts, we have a blog, we have forums, and we have the gaming calendar, and then there's a separate branch, Gauntlet Publishing, that does its own thing and has some really interesting stuff and has its own Discord and such. So you can check out all about that there at that website that I mentioned. My name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and we are playing using Roll20. So you'll hear us referring to that. And we're also using a Google spreadsheet kind of track our NPCs and our safety tools, our lines and veils. So we are taking up, last time our players investigated, were put on the trail of a mage hunter, mage pursuer by the name of Bashalak. And this came from your patron. We kind of dealt with that, and she was given this assignment by another noble, Lord Murcross. Kind of didn't have a sense of exactly who he was. But you followed it up to find out what was going on, and you found that Bashalak was apparently researching something, and in particular, some dragon marks. And sort of like to cut to the chase, he has apparently found two people who have aberrant dragon marks that appear to be identical, which is a big deal. And apparently has kind of set out in pursuit or to meet at least one of them. And you have a name, Noderia Refuse, that she has one of these marks. And where is she? Well, she apparently joined on some kind of expedition down into the Cogs, which is the lower part of the city, not the lowest part of the city. There are lower parts there down there. There are the sewers, there are the undertunnels, and so on. You don't know much about the makeup of this expedition, except that you've found out that they apparently are going down into the lower part to find some kind of unexploded spell bomb from the war 20 some years ago. It must be something big. If they're willing to go down there and search and do this, they must know something. They must have some information, and they are going down there. And they're clearly been trying to keep it a little bit on the hush hush. But you've also found that there are some people that have been are cross with Bashalak, including Pashan Zakis, our hobgoblin, which we have a great picture that was put in there, and I appreciate whoever found our Romanesque hobgoblin there with the bad hairpiece. That is pretty amazing. And you also found that there was someone from the city watch offices, a Lieutenant Kentefa, who was also apparently looking into this, looking for Bashalak. Unclear why. But you were told about the expedition. You were given notes on where to go, and you were told that there would be there's an outfitter / delver / contact, and I think I gave this to you in passing, by the name of Viper Novus, who's down in the Intercity. This may be thing I either glossed over or maybe I missed, but I think I gave you the name. Who, if you go down into the Cogs, he, for whatever, however you decide to pressure him, money or smooth talking or whatever, he should be able to lead you to where this expedition is. And so that's essentially the setup. Did I miss anything big?
I did we, and my fellows might be able to, did we deduce who the other person with the aberrant dragon mark was? I thought. Tim, do you remember?
Yeah, that was my question too. I mean, we know that, I think we figured out that was somebody who had worked for Zacchus, right? And that's why he was so angry with Bashalak.
Yes.
Is that
Right.
Bashalak made off with this very valuable
Person.
Yeah.
right, associate of his. And
that is right.
but I don't know if we got that person's name. I was looking at my notes. I didn't see that I wrote it down. So that would have been kind of silly of me if I talked to Zacchus and like never thought to ask. Maybe I did, and he was like, maybe he wouldn't tell me. I can't quite remember.
Let us put it down to him not telling you. And this is the person that Bashalak took with them. And they are by the name of, let's see if I have it on the previous page.
Right, because it was somebody that Bashalak came to get, and was a person. Chris put in there Yabnavi.
Yes, thank you.
Oh yeah, there you go. I had that name randomly written in like a blank spot of my notes, but with no context. So yeah. Thanks, Chris, for actually.
That's how most of my GM notes are. What the fuck? Where who was this guy? Yeah. So yes, Bashalak took Yabnavi. Yabnavi has that dragon mark. And you know that the other person with this apparent dragon mark, Nadiria, is on this expedition. So let's come around and ask each of you kind of what it is like you're about to go down on of an expedition that may take several days, like maybe more involved than the kinds of cases you are going off your sort of beaten path. So Curie, what do we see of you kind of getting yourself ready, psyched, prepared for this?
So I think we'll see Curie bustling about, like just checking in with all the people she knows, just running around, saying goodbye, that kind of stuff. And then I think she doesn't take stuff very seriously, so she doesn't really do much packing. And then she's where you may find her right now is playing for a crowd in the tavern that we all kind of work above right now, just sort of. But I think that's kind of what she does to kind of put herself in the right mental space.
So yeah, go ahead and mark yourself an inspiration. You kind of that's your way of prepping and getting ready. So I think that's fair. What about for Ratung?
Yeah, I think Ratung you would see him in his hovel in Dura, and poring over his spell book over and over again by candlelight, the light of just one solitary candle, hunched over a table and muttering the incantations that he already knows by heart. But then you'd also see him, I think he's scurrying kind of between different like little shops or like little like roadside stands that sell goods, and he's buying up as much as he can of this particular kind of cheese, I think, to take down underground with him. Some kind of like a yellow cheese with some sort of red and blue maybe veins kind of running through it.
Okay.
And this is a very good it's kind of one of his luxuries, along with tea maybe, that he enjoys, and he thinks of course, cheese is a great ration because you just carry it around forever. And it's
Right,
only
right.
gonna get tastier and
Only get
tastier.
tasty. There's no chance of
Yeah.
mold or anything.
Well, the mold is what, it's almost what you want,
Mold is
right?
what it gives it flavor. All right. So go ahead and mark yourself an inspiration. And Zad, what about you?
Yeah, Zad is actually probably gonna talk to her Orion cleric, his Orion cleric, Cassia Lermondal, and he's got a map that this NPC who worked for the government gave him. And he doesn't really want to tell her exactly what he's doing, but he's trying to get as much information as he can about the cogs. I don't think he's he may have been down there before. That's pretty reasonable, right? But I'm assuming it's not a place that he'd want to go. So he's probably trying to collect information and prepare himself.
Sure.
But he's studying the map very specifically and thinking, like, if the lights go out, here's how I'm going to get around.
Well, let's what do you think you want to use for the skill for kind of interacting? Is this investigate, or are you trying to kind of more charismatically talk with Cassia? How do you want to do that?
Yeah,
especially in the sense of talking to her but not giving
right,
away
yeah,
too
exactly.
much.
Yeah, it's I mean, when you do that, that feels like a deception thing, but I guess it could also be investigation.
I'm willing for either of those to go.
Let's do investigation.
Okay, let's have you roll.
All right.
So what do you got?
Let me see. We got a 14.
14. So what is the one thing that you want to know beyond the basics? And so let me tell you, so to refresh everybody, those of you who may or may not know about the cogs. So the cogs are a lower level. It is where the machinery and the smithies and things, and every industry that smells bad is down here in the cogs. But the cogs is kind of the basis of it. In several places, there are lava flows that are used to power different things. And it is where the majority of the Warforged in Sharn live, is down in here working. There are non-Warforged present, and a lot of them kind of pulling strings and things, but it really is that beating heart. And then there are the sewers, and then the underlevels like actually reach towards places that were sealed away when the city was leveled in the past, long time ago. Certain areas of the old city were sealed away. So what is it you want to know beyond the sort of those basics, Zad?
Yeah, so Zad is appealing to the fact that they are both knowledge clerics, and wants to know, when I'm down there, how am I going to be able to, who can I meet who will help me see the light? Who can be a guide? Who do you know who I could go to when it gets dark?
Whoever it is who you have as your guide, whoever it is that you hire down there, that is the person that you need to get close to. You've mentioned that there is someone, this Viper, that spend your first time getting him on your good side. Work on that. Use your clerical powers to impress and heal and offer comfort to him, such that he is more determined that you're going to live through this expedition.
Lowell, can you remind me? I'm sorry, Viper Novos. He's a radical.
He is the person that you were told when you go down in here, you can meet up with him and he will arrange sort of the next stage of passage down.
Got it.
Does that seem like a fair set of info?
Yeah.
Okay. So we will see all of you getting yourselves prepared and heading down. There probably is a mixture of long stairs and then the certain kinds of those lowering lifts and things. Not the sort of the fancier airships or anything like that. The stuff that you get that's nicer is in the higher levels that has a little bit more room. Here you start to get into the city where it gets dense and where all of the pieces are kind of like pressing in on you. Let me ask you this, Carrie, like, what do you think? The one thing we know is as you go downwards, it gets warmer, like a lot warmer. You move away from that element of air, you're into more enclosed areas, and you certainly got a lot more of that smell of sort of ash and sulfur through here. But what else do you notice as you travel down from the main city down into the upper cogs where you're going to meet your contact?
Other that says that it's hot, or just generally other
Like
stuff
what's the change as you go down?
So yeah, so like you said, it gets hotter and hotter, and and so I'm assuming, this isn't like we're going into a dungeon, right? It's inhabited. We kind of established, right?
No, tunnels. There are different sections of the city that make up the upper cogs. Like the nicer upper cogs have slightly wider tunnels than the other ones.
So will we run into people while we're down, like along this way here?
I think you will see people heading down, and heading up, and I think that the majority of them avoid your gaze. They are clearly, no one who's coming down here like this is up to any good.
Well, I think one thing we'll notice is as the further we get down and the warmer and the hotter it gets, I would imagine, there's lots of you'll see little pockets of steam and stuff, popping out here and there. And you'll notice too that most of the people are, a lot less clothed, right? So maybe stripped down to the waist, because it's all hot and everything. I think, and then like you said, it's not difficult to discern, a group like ours intent, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're not, I would assume we're not looking like normal cog dwellers, right?
Yeah.
So,
there are definitely people that come down here to trade, to escape from things. But there are also a certain amount of people who live down here, down past what's called the Kyber Gate. That's sort of the city that is here. Let me ask then, Ratung, your people, your culture, your background, this is this in your wheelhouse, or is it unusual down here? Like what's the relationship between your family or clan and going down here into the cogs? I know you live up kind of in a, let us say, shitty part of town. But let's what is it like? I mean, much different, big different? Do you have people down here? What do you think?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think this is a novel experience for me. I think that going into the cogs to do whatever you might do there would be, it's kind of too dangerous and too ambitious of an undertaking for maybe people from my station, right? You'd have to we kind of live a hard scrabble life, but you
Right.
don't want to put yourself in harm's way. You know, that's kind of this, you're scraping by, but you don't want to invite any extra danger. And I think there's this idea that like you just stay out of the cogs. You
Okay.
know?
That seems more than fair to me. Sad. What are the like signs, markers, and so on as you get down into these upper cogs before you kind of delve down deeper that tell you that certain of your house, certain of your people, like there are stations for them down here?
Yeah, so I think there's going to be markings in the wall that are like pieces of dragon shard that are slightly glowing. You can't tell if they're glowing or reflecting, and they look like they've been carving has been carved. A little hole has been carved into a wall or a post, and the dragon shard is fitting it perfectly, like it's been there forever. And you might not notice it. You might just think it's part of the wall, but I recognize it.
Okay. And you will make your way down to these cogs. It gets hotter. And you eventually sort of wind your way into an area called Black Bones. This is one of the forging production areas of this undercity of the upper cogs, and it is baking hot in here, and all of you will see more Warforged here than you've probably seen your entire lives up top, working, doing the smithing, carrying things. It looks like there are definitely organized groups of these Warforged, like maybe not overseers, but certainly managers for the different groups of them. And you get some odd looks when you're in here, because this is kind of an industrial area, before eventually you're directed over to where this Viper character is. And you kind of make your way down there and find yourself in what passes for a tavern. And there is a human there. It looks to you like he has at some point gotten hit with a little too much fire magic. So it's not just that he is burned, but he has a little bit of the kind of the glow of the fire magic to him. But not like a Gensai, just like a misfire. And you've been given probably notes, I'm assuming, from your associate, the patron. And Viper will look at your letter of introduction and will say, "So what is it that I can do for you, illustrious gentleman? What is it that you require?" Or gentle persons, I should say. Well, someone has sent you down here to me.
Yeah.
What is it you're after?
Maybe you have happened to see a couple other parties similarly.
Well, I don't think I've ever
Unknown
seen a
in these
party quite
parts.
like yours.
No, but similarly unknown in these parts that have passed by, plumbing the depths of the cogs for their own purposes. Does that sound like anything that's stuck out to you recently?
This seems like to me like you're pressing me for some information here.
Well, of course, that's exactly why we were sent to you with this lovely letter. You wouldn't want to disappoint the Pashan. He he sent us to you, and he trusted that you would furnish us with the information that we required.
What do you think is the appropriate role here to get the Viper kind of more on your side than neutral?
Probably persuasion, because
Okay.
I think I'm just trying to
Yeah.
remind him that, you know, the Pashan is not like he would not want us to go back and tell that the Pasha that this Viper was just singularly unhelpful to us.
Okay, let's have you make that roll.
All right. All right, that is a 1 plus 2, so 3.
That's right. He says, "Oh, absolutely. I know exactly who you were looking for. And I know exactly how to get you down there to them safely and efficiently. We should gather our things together. It may take me another hour or so to get my, I wouldn't want to bring ducks down here, but let us say ducks in a row to lead you down into the darkness and depths."
There, that wasn't so hard now, was it?
And Viper will say, "You've had a long, hard journey down here, I assume, for most of the day. There's no concept of night or day down here, so we probably should do some traveling. But if you need to take a couple of hours to get yourselves ready, let's meet back here in 2 hours, shall we say? That will give me enough time. That I'll be ready by then."
Sounds fine by me. I mean, it's not the most comfortable place to rest, but
I'm sure you
suppose this is
can hit up some of the shops and such while I'm gone. I'll be back in just 2 hours. And Viper will depart. Sad? What do you do? What's your reaction to all this?
Zad is feeling unsettled that that Viper's gone, and we're waiting around for a couple of hours, and there are possibly agents around here from his house. So Zad is tempted to follow Viper.
All right.
And wants to tell the other guys that this is what he wants to do, because it seems a little odd that Viper just packed up and left. What do you guys think?
So I think Carrie for most of that conversation was kind of enthralled with the glow that he had, and you know, she's basically like, I thought that went well, and and then she's gonna hop. So you said we're in sort of like what kind of accounts as a tavern here?
Yeah, it is the most basic outfit, but you definitely have a door, windows, the classic, a little bit of room to yourself.
So she's gonna hop up, and she's going to kind of just go over somewhere near the bar, and she's gonna start playing her harmonica, and kind of just doing what just kind of and kind of that sort of like it feels like exactly the kind of place that you would have the blues. So
Okay.
sort of a low key bluesy sort of tune that she's just going to kind of pick up and play. And as she's playing a little bit, and a little, you know, out of nowhere, a little tin, like little hat or something she throws it out there for tips and whatnot. So
Okay. Let's have a performance roll.
Okay. Performance. Let's see.
Look at that. That's a 24. you will see a figure, a woman. Judging by her stuff, she comes from one of the orcish peoples, not entirely unlike Zad's lineage. And she will come over and she will say, kind of sits herself down at a stool, and she says, I'm sorry to interrupt your brilliant performance. Did I hear you speaking with that Viper person?
Oh yes, he's going to be our guide. We're following some friends of ours
She
here.
does this. She says, that's not Viper.
Okay.
I don't know exactly who that is, but how do I put this in the best way possible? I had an altercation with Viper about 4 days ago, and he was left, shall we say, unready.
I think I get your meaning.
Yes. So imagine my shock when I came down here today and saw a person who I thought I had put 6 feet under, talking with an able bardic gentle person like yourself.
Not to be too blunt, but are you telling me that you killed Viper? No judgment here.
No, you're not a cop. You have to tell me if you are. That's how that goes, right? She says, yes, I did.
My lady, I don't know how I can ever thank you for this information, but I think she has something that's like a card, like performers might have, and she'll slip her to her and say, I must bid you adieu. I must get back to my friends because this information is quite disturbing. So
is it all right if I sit here and wait and see how this all comes out? Because this is I'm really wondering.
Well, absolutely. If my performances take many forms, so by all means, keep watching.
All right. And she does. So, she puts that away, and she'll order a drink from the what passes as a bar here, and goes in and sits and waits.
So I'll kind of go back. At least Ratung is still here. I don't know if Zad has
let's figure out what you say to Ratung, and then let's check in with Zad and see what Zad does during the 2 hours.
So I'll just fill Zad in, or Ratung, in on what she told me. Ratung, that fine young lady over there just informed me that the person we just talked to is not Viper, and that in fact, several days ago, she killed Viper in an altercation. So I don't know who or what we just talked to, but we probably may want to, I'm assuming we're going to be in for a little trouble here shortly. Not to mention not knowing we don't have a guide. So.
But I just talked him into helping us. I think that whoever it was said he was going to help us.
Well, I think that maybe he might have lied to us. So I just think that perhaps we should be aware of what's going on, because it's possible that he's that this individual is a cut purse of some sort and may have other plans for us other than leading us where we need to be led.
Yeah, I think as you are kind of laying it out to me even more explicitly than you did the first time, I'm just kind of like gulp, kind of like tug on my beard, like look around to see where Zad is, maybe not even realizing that he left, and like, oh no, I think he took Zad already. We're next.
Well, Zach, what you get the 2 hours. There's some things going on. What are you doing here during this time?
Yeah, so I think if the response to the question of should we follow him was to immediately jump up and start performing, I think he probably felt like he was on his own in this one. So Zad is skulking and following Viper, and if there gets to be an opportunity where it looks like he's able to maybe get the jump on Viper, he would want to question him.
Okay. This feels like stealth.
I'm not sure if I have any inspiration available. Do we start with inspiration? Or,
Yeah, well, for the scene we did at the start, you'd get an inspiration.
So yeah, so then that's great. So I'm going to use inspiration.
Okay.
And lovely. So I got a 12.
This is not necessarily your strong point.
It's not. No.
So I think you will realize with that 12 that he's kind of like he knows he's being followed. Now he is going to move around like he's more concerned about maybe trying to lose you than he is about like playing keep away, so that you can, I mean, if you want to actually try and jump him, you could try and do that if you're more into that.
Well, I think if I no,
or
what was that?
Or are you going to play a little more restrained?
Yeah, if he knows that yeah, I mean, if he's following him and he gets the sense that this person knows that he's following him, he's getting even more weirded out, and he is going to jump him because he's nervous.
Okay.
He's getting more and more nervous that wherever he ends up, he's going to be led somewhere. So he doesn't want to kill him, but he wants to ask him some questions, and he feels like this guy's trying to elude him.
Okay. How about, does that feel like athletics to run him to ground?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure does. All right, I got a 10.
So I think that you will kind of go to chase him down, but I think you like he clearly knows this place.
Yeah.
And he's gone. The one thing you will see is like as he's moving along, as you kind of close in, you see that he has like some kind of piece of crystal in his hand that looks like transparent but greenish in hue, and like he's had it clutched in, and when he kind of sees you coming, he kind of tucks that and books, and he's around a corner, and then when you kind of step to like, okay, I'm going to be able to grab him, and he's gone.
Yep. Did he use that crystal to make himself look like somebody else? Like, I'm just really like, what could have happened? He's trying to do the math work. And then he spins around and realizes he's kind of doesn't even know where he is. Like he got led to some place. The camera's spinning around him, and he thinks, wait, I need to retrace my steps. Was I paying close enough attention to how I got here?
So if it's okay, I think we'll cut back to the scene of you a while later returning back to where Kiri and Ratung are. Does that seem fair?
Oh yeah, completely.
Okay, you two good with that? So maybe after an hour, Zad comes back. And maybe he looks a little chagrined about his endeavors.
He slipped by me. I don't think we could trust that guy though. I mean, when he saw I was coming, he didn't even stop.
Yeah. While you were gone, I think we've determined that that's not Viper.
Okay.
and-
So the question is, are you even Zad?
The password is Duchess.
Okay.
Okay, he's Zad. I'll grab up my scrap of paper and write down he is Zad. Period. Confirmed.
Is the half orc or the orc still watching?
Yeah. I see her kind of sees you come in. And to see her eyes kind of narrow. Like, have I seen that guy before? No. Just something about his walk or something looks familiar.
I don't recognize her, obviously.
Oh yeah. She's definitely part of, like, not one of the people who actually did anything to you, but she's definitely part of your adversarial group. I mean, and not all of them are evil or anything. They're just, they've been told that you're an enemy and need to be hunted down. But you don't look like you. And her name is Crux.
So I'm going to try to sit at the bar if there is one and get a drink and act like I don't really care that she's there.
Okay. And I have put her name on her picture there. And after a little bit, your good friend Viper comes back and says, all right, well, I've gathered my things together, put my affairs in order. Are all of you ready to head down into the depths?
Oh, I didn't think you were coming back.
But it wasn't like I took your money and run. You haven't given me any money.
We heard the weirdest story.
All right.
Why don't you have a seat and we'll tell you all about it. It's quite the tale.
Interesting. Okay. All right. And he very clearly sits down, positions himself such that he's got, a little bit of a table to his back. He's got an exit point out, that kind of thing. And sits himself down and says, so tell me about this story.
If it's all right to just say for 1 second, I think Zad may step outside or step by the door.
Oh, okay. Well, then you will see the three Warforged in cloaks that are kind of standing outside with that look of, we don't mean anything good right now. They are battered and broken, that kind of like the Warforged who are down on their luck, that are desperate scoundrels.
Does it look like the door is barrable?
To a Warforged? No.
Okay.
Sakiri and Ratung, Zad kind of maneuvers himself over by the doorway. You see that orc woman, she kind of sits herself a little bit straighter, moves her hand, it kind of drops down to her sword at the side, and Viper looks at you and says, so what is it that you've heard?
This is the tale of a young rapscallion by the name of Viper.
A rapscallion. I don't know if I've ever been called that before.
Oh, come on. Yes, you have. Okay, fine. A rogue then. A young
I am
opportunist,
merely,
we might say.
I am merely a guide.
Right, a guide then. Who had an altercation with a very capable and, may I say, rather alluring half-orc, or yeah, a woman.
Mhm.
And I'm going to be honest with you, he died, which is very strange because you told us that you are Viper.
Interesting.
It's just a story.
That
course.
it is just a story, but it is an interesting story. And like, may I ask who you heard this fiction from?
And I'll say, Kiri will say, a lady never tells.
Fair enough. And I have it to believe, given the tension that I'm feeling right at this moment, that perhaps you believe this person and what they have said.
Perhaps. Do you have any anything you could tell me that would prove this individual wrong?
As a matter of fact, I do. And Viper stands up and says, let me go and get that. And I will bring you proof that I am who I say I am.
You seem to be awfully fond of going and doing your business and leaving us here.
Fair enough.
Maybe is Zad still standing inside where I could see him?
Zad is it just inside the door. Kiri is nearby.
Zad would have given you some kind of indication, like either
Right.
shaking his head or pointing his eyes that way, that there was something. I think that Zad is going to say, I think Zad wants to walk over to Crux and ask if there's a way out of here, if there's a back door.
She says to the ambitious man, in a place such as this, any wall is a back way out.
Do the walls actually look smashable?
I think you could probably kick these. This is a shitty tavern.
So you want to help me out with that, Crux? I don't think you're going to like what you see out there.
I'm very curious to see where this goes. Carrie, what are you doing? You see that Ratung has been talking with this false Viper. You see Zad moves over to talk to Crux. The Viper stands up and seems to be going, I'm going to walk out the door.
So she is going, so she reaches into the pockets of her outfit here and pulls out a handful of dust and blows it at him and says sleep, and is casting sleep on Viper. She doesn't want him to leave, and she just wants to like get a minute to collect our thoughts. So I believe that's a 5d8 roll, which is the total number of hit points that that it will put to sleep. So let me. Oh, screen. I got screens everywhere. Sorry, hang on. What did I just say? 5d8. Uh, 22.
You are muted, lol. I'm sorry.
That is exactly the hit points of this changeling. Literally, it goes, he steps and then falls.
And then I think Curie will say, okay, now that that's taken care of, what exactly are we going to do? Because, you know, we don't have a guide. I think we can assume that he's not alone. And so, thoughts?
Are you heading down?
Why, yes, we are.
If you have any kind of map, I can guide you.
Right here.
Why don't you let my friends and I, my lady, confirm?
Milady, you see her go, okay, yeah, sure.
So we'll kind of, I'm like, we'll kind of go over and huddle, I think, and say, all right, you know, what do you think? I mean,
Zad, it sounds like there's some bad news right outside.
Yeah. I mean, in this case, I think the enemy of my enemy is my friend, even
Well,
though
yeah, she's bailed us out once, so
even though they're my enemy. I mean, I'm not sure I trust her in general, but in this situation, I trust her more than those 3 Warforged out there. I think we should bust out the back and not even try to face those guys.
I agree. And she'll hop up and turn and say, we accept your offer. And then I'm gonna pilfer through this guy's pockets, the false Viper, quickly to see if he's got anything on him.
He
Look for the
has
crystal.
a number of, you know, some coins, basic things, stuff like that. You have the sense probably real classic, you know, generic stuff to have when you're disguised as someone, when you're clearly a changeling. But the one thing, as Zad pointed out, is there is this piece of crystal. It's not like cut particularly well, but it looks like it's maybe broken off from a bigger piece of crystal. It's translucent but greenish.
All right, so she's gathering up all the stuff, you know, with adept hands, shoveling it into the pockets, as I said, and she gets the crystal, she looks at it or whatever, and
Can I have you make
oh shit
an intelligence roll for me?
Okay. Oh, where's my character? I went down to one monitor, large monitor, but I'm a little overlapped.
It takes a while, yeah.
A little overlapped on my. Okay, so just intelligence, straight up intelligence roll.
Yeah.
I think I can just click on the actual here. Hot damn.
You grab onto this and you will feel your consciousness shift into this space, and it's like being in a bigger version of this crystal. It's like your mind is floating in it, and you can sense that there are words and messages in here, and that there are connections. And you kind of keep yourself solid, like you keep yourself, you've attuned to this miraculously on the first try. And you can kind of voluntarily pull your consciousness back out of this without causing any disturbance or alert at all.
Okay. So she'll, I guess, so she's kind of, I see her like being kind of like, whoa, right? You know, and then like, boom, out. And she's like, wow. And then she puts it in her pocket.
And it is nothing for the three of you and your new associate to kick the back out of the bathroom on this place and slip out the back and head through the back alleys of Blackbones towards the passages that take you further down. Let's take our first break here, and then we'll continue on. So take 10, and we'll be back. So you share the map with Crux. It's sketchy, and but she'll kind of look when she goes, okay, well, we're heading down to some serious kind of dangerous areas if this is where you want to head to. Can I ask? Yes.
Is this going below the cogs?
Yeah. We're going to go into the lower straits of the cogs where the lava's high, and now I'm not entirely sure if we can get through because the path that's marked on here goes through some bounded areas. Are you like, was this a map you got from somebody? Are you following somebody? What's the deal? She says, if I want to lead you, I just need to know.
Is there a, especially because I'm got this double thing going on with them potentially
Sure.
looking for me.
You make a
other than
perception
just
roll.
straight, yeah, we're insight.
Yeah, insight or perception is would be fine with me.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to understand her motives. So I'm gonna roll insight. 21.
Yeah, she's clearly a hustler. She's clearly looking for like a good job, but you seem to have impressed her with your level-headedness at the bar, and you've got a job, and you know you've certainly probably offered her some payment, and she's genuinely curious. Like, and when she asks like where you're going, it's half, I'm really curious about what's going on, and half, I need to kind of know this to know what we're going into.
Yeah, the do you remember there was a big war in you know, everybody remembers the war.
Excuse, yeah, I remember the war.
The well, the bombs couldn't land because the bombs couldn't do their job because of the levitation that's holding everything up. So some of them somehow ended up down here, and we're following somebody who's looking for them. That person thinks that we're not really sure other than that.
Okay, it's much easier if we're following somebody because that means they've probably opened the barriers. So that's better. That's much easier. It's harder though in that they'll probably have kicked up some dust, if you know what I mean. So we're going through an area where there are some beasties and things that may be at work here. Just want you all to be ready for that.
Fury is growing greatly impressed by the moment with our guide. So,
and she will grab her pack, and you will all head down in, kind of move through these tunnels. And I want you to mention that for you, even if you've been in like this part of the city that is a little bit tighter, a little bit denser up top, there's always been access to air and open spaces and the ability to move along stairs or get on risers and head up. Here you are inside definitively. You will notice that they can't afford like magical lanterns, so it's ever burning torches, and it's an ever burning torch, which gives off all of the effluvium of a torch. But they're also like they're spaced well apart. Like here's the torch, and then there's a length of a football field, and then there's another torch. So there's a lot of walking in and out of darkness. Remind me, like for the shifters, or tongue, do you have a dark vision? I can't remember.
Let me check. Yes, I do have dark vision.
Okay. And Zad, what about you? What's your, do you have a normal
Yep.
side? Okay.
Yeah.
And Carrie? Yeah. So for all of you, it's just a weird sort of going from gray, probably just because of distance. If like, you know, you have that dark vision 50 feet or whatever, there is that thing where you almost kind of get to it being dark, and then you can kind of move forward. And so you're going to go through this space and start to move down through some broken areas. So typically what I do when we do this kind of journey thing is we're going to do what's called montage from 13th Age. It's a system for journey. So the way this works is I'm going to come to one of you and I'm going to ask you to tell me, let's start with you, Chris. What's one obstacle that, as you're heading down through these tunnels and cogs and broken areas, and sometimes there's lava, sometimes there's sewers to move through, what's one obstacle that you four face? I say four, but we also mean Jim, so five. So
And these obstacles are not they're not creatures that,
not necessarily monsters, but just something that you face,
yeah.
a physical obstacle or other people, or like what's a challenge that you face. And you're going to put it forward, and then we're going to come to the next player and they're going to say how they help overcome that obstacle.
Yeah. Let's say that we're still high up enough potentially that there are some pipes that are running down with water.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them seems like something smashed up against it and broke it. And so the stairs that we're going down that are alongside lava on one side are slippery.
Oh yeah, the one of those sewer pipes is kind of broken. It's the water roll off and the city roll off. So the stairs are slick and chunky with what they're covered here, and it's the way you have to go down. And on one side we got the lava, and this stuff is, some of it is pouring over into the lava and burning immediately. And the smell that you had upstairs where you're by like the tanneries was one thing. This is so much worse. And coming up. So tell me, Kiri, like what skill do you bring to bear? How do you help the group kind of overcome this obstacle going down this slick, ichor covered set of stairs?
Sorry, I was muted there.
That's good.
So I think while we're all trying to, kind of, tiptoe, and we're slipping and everything, and so this might be cheating a little bit in the narrative, but I think that she will cast her feather fall on everybody so that we can kind of, get ourselves down there, down through this without hurting ourselves.
Yeah. Find a good spot that you can do a nice jump off of, so you can do the fall down, avoid the stairs, go. Yeah, absolutely. Boop, boop,
Yeah, and
boop.
it does up to five, and there were 5 of us, right?
Yeah.
Total? Okay.
Yeah. Don't spend a slot, because none of this requires anything. This is all narrative. So yeah, you do that. And the one thing you'll definitely feel when you're down here is you're used to being up in Sharn and casting Featherfall, and there's a feeling that you get when that happens, like you touch to that elemental air aspect that's up there. There's none of that here. You can feel the other elemental forces have pushed that out, and so the feel of air is like it can't quite contact it, but the spell goes off, and the four of you will and descend to the ground. Kira, you travel along a little further, moving through some other areas. What's the next obstacle that the group faces?
I think so. I kind of have this impression from the cogs, and I don't mean to be overly literal, but I just get this whole thing. There's like, this is the machinery of the city down below, right?
Are some big machines, big artificer machines down here.
Yeah, and I think that there's a part of this area where one of the giant like flywheels had broken, and it crashed down kind of across, and it's, we're gonna have to like scramble up over it, or get around it and everything. So, and it's just, and there's pieces. It's almost a little bit like, when like not quite like a scree slope, but it's kind of, a big kind of a boulder. We gotta work our way around it.
Rubble and a steep slope, and you're kind of not sure what comes next, and you're not sure how stable things are.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Ratung, what is it that you do? How is it that you help to get the group past this obstacle? You are muted.
Right. Thank you. I'm trying to remember what kind of familiar we established that I had. It was either going to be a rat or a cat, but
I think you went with a rat.
I think I did go with the rat, despite Jim really thought the cat was the way to go, but I think it was a rat. Yeah. I think that, we're scrambling down this kind of unstable wreckage.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that I have my familiar kind of go out first, and it's very light, of course, but it just kind of like tests, with its light little pod feet. It can just kind of go out and test for any sort of instability, right? Or it can go and just look, and it won't fall, or it won't like cause anything to fall over, but it can kind of let me know, okay, this up ahead, we want to avoid this area. And so then we kind of just follow behind the trail that the little rat familiar is blazing for us.
Has to kind of pick out, go along. What's the rat's name?
I'm open for suggestions. Let me think. You know what? I'm going to name the rat Cat.
The rat, his name is Cat. Nice.
Yep, that way we can have the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and it's difficult. I mean, these gears are old. They're made of old metal. So there's the sharp bits and angles where they're broken, but you will get through and head down deeper into this. Again, another layer of it just being hot as F as you move through here. What is Ratung, what is the next obstacle that you face?
So I think we're getting deep enough now that there's actually this large active lava flow traversing our path.
Mm-hmm.
And there's maybe kind of this rusty, rickety scaffolding that sort of goes over it.
Oh, nice. Some spots where it is like out there, aimed to like give you a passage over, but the stuff is super hot and rickety. And Zad, what is it that you do to help the group get past this?
Yes. So this is a basically a super hot ladder that we're climbing over kind of situation.
Yeah, like bridges or kind of metal footpaths or things like that falling down, providing some pathway for you.
So the real threat here is not only are they rickety, but they're really hot.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
I'm envisioning almost like a catwalk. Is that that's the picture that's in my
Yeah, I
head,
like that.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that he yeah, inspire. He remembers a story about something like this happening a long time ago, to some other investigator, and he realizes that he has to cool the ladder down at least temporarily.
Mm-hmm.
But then he realizes that if he tries to use any kind of water, he's going to actually create a shitload of steam. And so I think he has to cast some kind of spells. Like I'm looking at all of his spells. I'm trying to think if any of them will actually help, like blessing and sanctuary. But basically, he is calling on Orion to help provide and shield the group, because he thinks that there's actually no way through besides climbing it and just like taking some damage and just trying to resist as much damage as possible.
So you're kind of reaching for divine aid, kind of using that to help you
To
power
create a shield,
through and
a
create
shield of faith.
Yeah, I like that. What does that shield look like?
Yeah. So in this case, because he is picturing that you need things to cool down, it is. I'm not sure if this is too much of a stretch, but it looks a little bit like a snowstorm where the wind is blowing around you and the snowflakes are so small you can't really see what they are. They just look like specks. So we're surrounded in a bit of a white cloud as we pass through, and everything feels a little bit cooler as we get like +2 AC sort of situation.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that very much. And yeah, you will be able to uh, uh, move yourselves through that and get past. So, sorry, I'm trying to set up a map here for something. Oh, I say, what a giveaway here. Let me do that. There we go. Okay. So, you are moving along. We're still kind of at the edge of the volcanic areas. And it's raised up stone areas, and then there's a lot of fall offs, like drop offs in kind of into the void. But then there are spots where the earth is kind of broken, and there's like lava coming out and kind of pouring down the sides of those. And Crux is kind of looking, and she says, we're going to be hitting one of those seals here soon. So just kind of be aware. I don't know what that's going to look like when we get there. They blocked off a lot of old places. So we're going to hit those. And you are walking along this area. Again, that kind of weird mixed light here. It's mostly the glow from the lava that, I mean, your dark vision helps and your dark sight helps, but it's not great. And as you're kind of winding your way through here, you will hear a scraping of metal, and you'll bring yourselves to a stop, and you will see in front of you on the left and the right, you will see these two things unfurl from the ground, and that's what is scraping. And they look like big black metal dogs. And you'll hear that scraping behind you as another one kind of clambers up from the void. And I'm going to show you the map now. There you go. You should be able to see the map. Now there are tokens there for these iron defenders. Can you see the
It's all
tags?
black right now. Sorry, I see all black. How about you guys?
It is black.
It's all black for me too.
I wonder if you need to like assign vision to our tokens, maybe. Lol.
Let's see.
I've run into this issue with 5e on Roll20 before.
Assigned vision. Okay, let me see.
If you like, I think there's a setting like that.
Advanced. You are on the token areas. You're not in dark mode. Not in permanent darkness.
The other thing is it might be the page itself. You have to like go into like a setting on the map to say that it's lit. Just those are two of the
Sure.
different things I've run into.
Let me. I'm going to refresh. I'm going to go to the page. Let's see it. Okay. Brand settings, color background, grid on, opacity, no dynamic lighting, no status, no opacity. Yeah, I tried that.
And sorry, I know this isn't.
Hey, I just saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
On one setting, it said
we
no
go.
dynamic lighting. On the other, it said yes, dynamic lighting. So on these iron defenders, can you see the name tag on them?
Not the name tag, no, just the token.
Okay. I thought I had reset this the thing so it would show automatically. Nameplate.
And is the orc is Crux?
Yes. Details. What is it? It's got a nameplate. Player permissions. Sometimes Roll20, you are general permission C. Okay. C. 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 Okay. And that was this guy. So I'm going to copy, paste, paste. Delete these other ones. Delete. Can you see the names and the displays on the tokens now? The Iron Defender.
No, just the tokens themselves.
I have set it so it should player permissions. Oh, stupid piece of shit game. Oh, sorry. I have to set those and then I have to hit save settings. Copy.
Yep, got it.
Paste. System mastery. All right.
Yep, there it is.
Okay, let's remove these other ones.
There are some very unintuitive things in Roll20 that, as an IT person, I wonder sometimes, like, if it was, I'm trying to think about how it made, because it clearly made sense to someone, right? Or they layer features on top of each other, and then it just is like, that was the easiest way to do it on the back end or something. Yeah.
So I'm going to add a turn for all of you. And then we'll add turn for them. Pull up the little turn order thing. Okay, add turn. There we go. Okay. Get rid of that one. Okay, so if everybody could roll initiative and put your initiative in the queue there.
And one thing you can do is if your token is selected when you roll initiative on your character sheet, that'll just automatically populate it. Maybe you guys knew that already then.
Okay. So this is the first round. It's not a surprise round because you have the dark vision. You were able to see and you hear them coming. But Carrie, you are going to be the first person to go. These are 5-foot squares.
All righty. So, the first thing, so these things have kind of reared up and are kind of, they're clearly pretty menacing. So, the first thing she's going to do is she's going to use, well, let me ask this out of character question.
Sure.
Can I use a thing on our NPC or like like I have abilities to help bolster people's, things, or do we want to keep that just to the PCs? Doesn't matter either way to me.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's what I'll do. If you bolster the NPC, then what I will do is if you when you do that, you can use them to help you to give you advantage on a following turn.
Okay. I'm going to not do that then.
Okay.
I will. So, first thing she's going to do is she's going to turn to Ratung. No offense, but I think Ratung, would be most worried about Ratung in this sort of a situation, and gives him a wink and says, you got this, boy, and spend one of my bardic inspirations, which means you get a D6 so that in a saving throw, an ability check, or an attack, I think it's an attack roll, you can use that D6 and then whatever you roll, you get to add that to your, just as a little bonus thing. I'm reaching in, I'm going all in on all of the parts, crazy shit. So then she's gonna give Crux a wink and said, let's do this, girl. And she's going to cast, I'm gonna cast Mirror Image, which creates 3 additional, I think it's 3 additional like versions of illusory, and then she's gonna head right at the one that's way up in the top corner there. Okay. But I don't think I have an attack action because I've used my action on the spell.
Absolutely. So go ahead and move yourself.
Yeah. So she'll just come up here with all of her little doubles.
Okay. And so the defenders will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. One will move over to you, Zed. One will come at you, Ratung, and this other one will move at you, Carrie. So Carrie, this Iron Defender is going to swing at you. What is your AC?
14.
14. So we'll roll. So that's an attack 20. So it will rush at you with these barbed metal teeth and will hit you for 6.
So on that mirror image thing, we roll a d20.
Oh, that's right.
To determine whether it hits. Oh, here, I'll pop it into the, I think I can pop it right into the, can I pop it into the, there you go.
So you have 2 duplicates. So roll a d20 to see what they hit.
Okay. Let's see. Sorry. D20.
So absolutely, yeah. So it will bite and chomp into one of your duplicates and pop it. There's you and one more duplicate left. Zad, what is your AC?
12.
12. Okay. So this thing rushes up to bite at you and will hit. It will take 6. And I need you to make a strength saving throw. DC 13. No. It clamps onto your arm for another 3 points of damage. And you are grappled. DC 13. Ratung, what is your AC?
10.
10. We'll hit you for 6, and I need you to make a strength saving throw.
14.
Oh yeah, you don't get grabbed up by it. So that was the Iron Defenders. Zad.
Yes. So Zad is struggling here. And is going to cast, despite having one arm grappled, is going to cast Hunter's Mark on this creature.
Okay.
So I'll roll that. I'm trying to think what that actual roll is for now that I think about
It's a D6 for, we'll hit show spell description. Deal an extra D6 damage target whenever you hit with a weapon attack.
Yes. Okay. I'm just trying to think what that D6 was supposed to be a weapon attack. So can I cast this? Let's see. This is a bonus action. Okay.
Yep.
So what I'm trying to do is attack it and hit it. So that
Absolutely.
I went a little bit out of order. So I'm going
Sure.
to bludgeon it with my giant wrench.
Okay.
Let's see what this looks like. I got a 15.
At a 15, their AC is a 17, unfortunately.
All right. So I swing and a miss. Like,
Yeah, what is it like? What does it look like? Is it that it bounces off their armor, or is it that your arm's caught? Like, what causes the miss there?
I think maybe what I'm trying to do, yeah, is it I'm trying to get my arm, maybe even worse. They clamped onto my right arm and I'm a lefty. And so I'm swinging at it, but I'm just really don't have the same strength in that arm. And it's bouncing off the armor.
Perfect. Perfect. Ratung.
All right. I'm going to cast invisibility.
Okay.
So yeah, thing just bit me, maybe tore up my wizard robe a little bit. And I immediately start, mutter an incantation and just bloop, disappear.
Okay.
I am going to move away from it.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20. Are these 10 foot or 5 foot squares? 5 foot. Okay. So maybe I'll move up to about there.
Okay.
But then I'm gonna like, still invisible, but I'm gonna call out to it. And maybe like I'll be like, oh, here, boy, and maybe like kick like a stone so that the stone kind of lands over there or something.
Sure. Make a deception check.
All right. I'm gonna use my, oh, well, I can use the D6 too, right?
Yep.
Can I use the inspiration and the D6
Yeah.
at once? Okay, I'm gonna go all in on this plan.
Okay.
Yikes. Okay, an 8.
Okay. So an 8. Let's see. You will see this thing kind of looks like turns towards you, vanish. It kind of turns towards the stone throw briefly, but then it's gonna look around for another target, and it will essentially rush over towards Crux. So that's where it's going to move on its next turn. Does that seem fair?
Yes, more than.
Carrie, we're back to you.
All right, so I think we're just gonna straight up give it a go with her rapier, looking for all the little nooks and crannies to try to. Let's see. I think I can just click on rapier if I remember correctly. It'll do. Yes.
So that is a critical. So go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. Is that 11 the damage that's with it, or is that the?
That's it's still the roll with advantage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, let's do.
So what you can do,
I don't think
Joe,
that's right.
click on the word rapier underneath the roll where it shows that you rolled the
Oh.
crit. That's like
Okay.
a clickable link, and
Yep,
then
there
it'll automatically roll your critical hit damage too.
9 plus 8, so that's 17 points of damage. Like, how is it you hit that staggers this thing? It does over half its hits.
Yeah, so she's very flamboyant in her fighting style, the dueling and all that sort of. So you see her, and it's very mesmerizing because she's got this illusory self. So it looks like two of them, swirling around, and then she it's kind of pawing at her, and then she gets an opening and can kind of see like whether it's the eye or into its mouth, and just jams the rapier right in there. And it's, I would assume it's kind of squealing in that mechanical dog sort of way.
Yeah, look like the grinding of gears inside of it is the kind of the screech that you're getting from it.
Yeah, and then she's got as a little goblin, she's got, as a bonus action, she can disengage and not take a hit.
Okay.
As that, and so she's gonna I think I see. So she does all that flourish, and then you kind of see her. She kind of backflips out of it and moves down towards where Crux is.
Okay.
So she'll come down here. So they're can jointly deal with these, because you said one of them's coming at her.
Yep.
The one that was and stuff. Okay.
Right.
So.
In fact, let's take their actions. Let's start with the one moving towards Crux, and we'll go ahead and roll an attack. So we'll hit Crux, and then we'll D20. But Crux will not be grabbed by it. So Crux kind of turned, got her blade out, pushing it back. This Iron Defender that you hit is going to rush forward and try and bite at you again, Kiri. Your AC is
14.
14. Go ahead and roll a D20. You want an 11 or better. Oh yeah. And so the second mirror image pops as it misses, bites it at the air, kind of chews on it, doesn't get a chance. And then this last Iron Defender is going to bite on you. There, Zad. And we'll hit for 6. It doesn't do the extra damage because it's already kind of got you grabbed. You can see it kind of bites in, kind of sets its jaw, and you see, I need you to make a strength check.
Is this a saving throw or just click on strength situation?
I think you can click on strength for this.
Might be the same thing.
I think so. Oh yeah.
All right,
So,
19.
yeah, it tries to like start dragging you towards the edge to drop you off. But it can't get its grip, and it tries to pull you, and you are set. Your feet are set like rock. And it's your action.
I mean, it's really hard to drag me when I've lost this much blood already. It's just slippery. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna go for frustrated with my wrench. So I am going to. I think he's actually going to try to pry himself out of this, the maw of this thing.
Okay. DC is 13.
All right, so is this a strength situation?
Yep. Actually, because it's an escape, you can also do it with dexterity. Would dexterity been better?
Dexterity would have been worse.
Okay.
So I did not make it, so I'm still trapped in there.
Still trapped. But you can still make your attack.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna use spiritual weapon. The wrench didn't do me well, so I'm gonna use the spiritual version of it.
Oh yeah.
And I've got my hunter's mark as well, which allows me to do extra damage. So
Okay.
the damage is, I think if I click here, it'll do it, right? Cast at level. Yeah, so 6 force damage plus my hunter's mark, which gives me, I think, a D8 or D4. What was it?
D6.
All right. Should we use what I don't remember what I got before? Should we use the one I rolled earlier since I didn't?
Yeah, you got 4 on that. So 10 points of damage.
All right.
So that's what does that weapon look like when you do that?
Yeah, so at this point it's he's imagining what he would see a cleric of Orion using, which he thinks is a giant mace that has a very wise looking face on the actual head of the mace.
Mm-hmm.
And he swings it around a couple times before hitting him.
Smart. Yeah, smacks into it with a ring of that clang of that on the metal there. Ratung.
Yeah, so I think at this point I'm seeing this thing biting onto Zad.
Oh yeah, Zad's
and
covered with blood.
I can see it's trying to drag him toward this dark precipice. So I think when I'm going to cast Grease, like kind of underneath and kind of around this kind of, I think it says 10 feet. So kind of this 1, 2, 3,
sure,
kind of that area underneath the thing and then leading kind of toward the precipice. The idea is like, well, for one thing, Grease can kind of make it fall over.
Okay.
But I also like want it to not have like the footing to be able to drag him.
And so what's the effect of Grease?
So, right, the mechanical effect is slick grease covers the ground in a 10-foot square centered on a point within range and turns it into difficult terrain for the duration.
Okay.
When the grease appears, each creature standing in its area must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or fall prone.
Okay.
A creature that enters the area or ends its turn there must also succeed on a dexterity saving throw or fall prone. Okay. So for me, the save DC is 12.
Yeah, so it will make that DC check on that.
Okay.
But it is in there. So I think effectively that means that they're kind of at disadvantage on doing things while they're stuck in that grease right now. Now, is that a bonus action cast or a regular standard action cast?
No, that was just that's my turn. I'm not invisible anymore. Once I
Okay.
cast it, my
Boop.
invisibility went away. But I'm still standing kind of back in that area, I guess.
Absolutely. Carry 3 blades.
All right.
Oh, actually, let me pause. Let me have Crux make an attack here. That is a no. Will not hit. So now your turn.
Okay. So out of character question. If
Sure.
a spell doesn't tell you explicitly that you get to pick who's affected by it, like if it has an area of effect, then that means it's going to get everybody inside that area of effect, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, mind you, you can center things differently if it's like a square or a
Right.
circle.
Right. Yeah, and that was my read of that, because some will explicitly say up to X number of creatures that you choose, but this particular one does not say that. And so
Joe, can I jump in for 1 second?
Please.
I'm sorry to mention this at this point. I just wasn't as familiar. So strangely, the spiritual weapon allows you to then attack a second creature within 20 feet. We can also skip it just because the narrative, but if you want, I could have possibly attacked the Iron Defender who was next to Kiri.
I think we should. You've gotten bit twice, so I want to give you every chance that you have.
All right, so I'm supposed to just do, if you don't mind, Joe, I'm just going to do another attack. This one, okay, on the one next to Crux. So 15. So that may not
miss.
Yeah, it misses. All right, gave it a good shot.
Good. Yes, absolutely. So Kiri, what's kind of spell? What do you want to do?
So she has color spray, which will blind creatures, but it appears anything inside that 15-foot cone, including Crux and or Zad, would, if depending on how it would get caught up in that as well. And so I was hoping I could potentially maneuver it so I could get 2 of them. But I think I will not do that this time around.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to do it. So she will just straight up, I think she's just going to straight up attack the one that she has already attacked once again. So
yeah, it'd be a challenge. I think you could definitely do a cone if you were to step kind of to the north of this one and color spray both of them, because you get to assign it whatever you want.
Yeah, I think for now, just given where she's at and everything narratively, I think she's going to just straight up attack the one that she attacked before.
Okay.
So,
AC is 17.
Wah, wah, wah.
What happens this time? Is it bounce off? Is it a little bit faster? What do you think?
Yeah, I think she's kind of without the she's dashing and flourishing and whatnot, but without the other illusory self. I think there's a moment where she thinks that she's going to get it in there, and she goes to make her thrust, and it just whacks it with its paw away. And so yeah, I think that's about it.
Okay.
For me. Yeah, I don't think there's no point in disengaging or anything. And I just realized I didn't pick any spells that are bonus actions, and usually one tries to do that, because then you can do that. But nope, I'm good.
Okay. The one on you will attempt to bite you again. It will hit this time for 6 points of damage. And I need you to make a DC 13 strength check.
All right, that's not going to go well.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
She's a -1 in strength, so she
that's a crit. I will give you advantage on your next non-attack roll. Okay. So the one on Crux. Will crit on Crux. So Crux is bitten, and this thing is kind of pulling her back. And the one on you, Zed.
Hey, Lowell.
Yeah,
Sorry, this is the first time I think I've played a spellcaster in a long
Sure.
time. Strangely, spiritual weapon, now that Joe mentioned it, was a bonus action. So I
okay.
feel like my last turn, on top of me asking for a second retcon, could I have done a Sacred Flame cantrip on this bad boy?
Yeah, I think so. It looks like choose a
that's an
creature,
action.
mystically mark it as your, that's Hunter's Mark. Let's look at the spiritual weapon. Let's look at the spell description on that.
Yeah, spiritual weapon says bonus action.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Doesn't feel like a bonus action.
So
but-
what it is it's a bonus action to create it.
Oh, then the attack.
Then the
Thank you.
attack.
Okay, I knew.
And then
there
you
was
can
something
move
wrong.
it with your bonus action, which is what you
Yeah,
use your
yeah,
bonus action to do.
Got it.
To like
Okay.
move it into attack. Okay.
Thanks. Before this thing bites me again, I wanted to do as much damage as possible.
Absolutely. What is your AC?
Still 12.
So it's disadvantaged because of the oil, and so it will miss this time.
Yes.
Finally, it kind of slips around because of the grease that is sprayed around it, and it can't quite get a hit on you. It still has, I believe, your arm. No, you pulled your way out of it. No.
No, I didn't. Yeah.
No, it still got a hold of you. Which just bring us to you.
All right, I'm going to try to get out of the grip again. So I think it's another strength check.
Ugh. What is
Does
your
not happen.
spellcasting ability modifier?
I think it's 2. Let me see. No, it's wisdom. It's 3.
Okay, I just want to check and make sure that that's getting added in. So. Okay,
Oh,
I think
well,
it is automatically adding it in, but I just want to check.
Oh yeah. Well, that was a strength check anyway. So yes. So I'm going to, this thing doesn't even look like it's maybe like a 3rd damage as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna hit it with spiritual weapon again.
Okay.
Shoot. 14 10, so it does not hit.
That will not hit. Swings it past. What is it? Is it the grease? Is it trying to control this big ass weapon?
Yeah, I think I slip on the grease. That's there for me. And so you see the spiritual weapon actually go through him for a second, but I've lost my concentration, so it kind of doesn't do anything.
Perfect. Ratung.
So I think I'm gonna move like a little bit closer over here,
Okay.
and I'm gonna cast. There's a cantrip I have called Gust, and it pushes a creature 5 feet. They have a strength save of DC 12. My goal is to use Gust to push this thing, so it kind of like I'm gonna like push it toward the edge, also with the goal of like giving Zad a chance to like, rip away from it as it's being pushed away from him.
So let's do it this way. We'll give this thing a strength check against the DC. If it fails that, then it'll be pushed back 5 feet, and we'll give Zad another free escape attempt.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
However, it will hang on with the 20 there.
No. Wait a minute. Does it have disadvantage because it's on grease?
Yes, but I also rolled a 19.
Of course you did.
I know. This roller is quite nasty.
Yeah, I'm glad it's kind to one of us at least. That's nice. That's nice of it.
Since that it's just another +7, so if you're not going to hit that, she's probably going to switch to a defensive stance. Kiri, 3 blades.
All right. So let me, if if I get myself to, on the map, I'm making my little pingy thing here. If I get myself to this spot right here, is
Mhm.
that inside, like, can I get both the the two iron defenders inside a 15-foot cone?
I think it's reasonable, especially because she's not grabbed. So, you can direct her to step back or try and
Okay.
disengage a little bit. And I think you can easily maneuver yourself to do that. If there were other forces on the board that might threaten you, I would consider it a little more challenging. But I think here, you do have to disengage though first.
Yeah, so she'll use, because the nimble action thing that's her bonus action.
Okay.
Then that nimble thing that little creatures get.
Okay.
And all right, so I'll just move her to here. All right, so I'll throw this into the chat so you see. It looks like I'm gonna roll 6d10
Mm-hmm.
To get the total number of hit points of creatures that the spell affects.
Okay.
So I think I'm gonna have to do that. I don't think I can use the little to do a 6d10. I'm gonna have to.
I think you can do the / roll 60/10.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way.
Yes.
What is that again? So it's / roll. Is it just
space
60?
60/10.
Yeah, that's what I thought. We'll see. All right.
So 34. So you can get
And I think it has to start with the creature with the lowest hit points. I think is how it's stated there.
Okay. So the one that you were biting is blinded, which means attack rolls against it have advantage and it has disadvantage.
Okay.
And
it's probably not enough for the other one, is it?
No, because it has 13, the other one has 30, so there's a total is a 43. But you will blind that one line market with the where's the little thing? There's the little blind symbol on it. Iron Defender. So it's gonna move, try and hit you. It is blinded, so this is with disadvantage, and an 8 will miss. And then we've got the attack. We'll hit her, and then with disadvantage, the attack on you, Zed, will miss. It still has you grabbed though.
The tide is turning. I can feel it.
Oh, also, I neglected to say this before, but if it ends its turn still in the grease, it has to make another saving throw or fall prone.
Oh, good.
Yeah. DC 12, dexterity.
It does stay up though.
Of course it does.
Your disadvantage has saved him from a couple of hits here though. Zad.
All right, Zad is going to try to get out of this grip again.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Was it a 12?
It's a 12.
Oh man. Wow, that was a lot of bad misses. Okay, so
Oh yeah, no, your strength rolls were terrible. It's actually a 13, which is still enough. So
okay. He's so 9 hit points. So he needs to get further away. He's gonna think for 1 second about how quickly this thing moved and how quickly he'd be able to move. 1, 2, 3, 4. So as far as he can tell, this thing moved faster than him, right? I was moving like, oh, move 20. All right, so the first thing he wants to do is get out of here. Or can I hit somebody and then get out of here? I can do that too, right?
You can attack and then
no, that would be a disengage and they get an opportunity attack, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, so I see what's happening. And he can use healing on himself, is that right?
Yeah.
Do I even have it? Yeah, I'd have to have it. I don't have it marked as one of the ones that was prepared, so I'm not going to do that. Okay,
I'm flexible on that, given that we hadn't like called that out, and you've been doing dungeon delving. So if you want to swap that around for something that you have,
Yeah.
that's fine.
I appreciate that. I think I
Yeah.
would have done that instead of had the command on there. All right, so let's see what we get here. Okay, it's a bonus action.
Okay.
So it's click on it. It doesn't actually do anything. So I think it's why is that the case? Creature your choice, 1d4 plus spellcasting ability modifier. I see it. So it's asking me what level am I casting it at.
Yeah.
Got it. I'm gonna cast it at level 2 in the hopes it will give me more. So does that?
That's 8 points back.
All right, so I'm getting 8 points back. So that was a bonus action, and now I am going to. Okay, I'm gonna do Word of Radiance. You utter a divine word, burning radiance erupts from you. Each creature or choice you can see within range must succeed on a Constitution saving throw, or take 1d6. I mean, I assume these guys have pretty good Constitution, but
Yeah, but so DC is 13.
yes.
Okay. So let's do the one on you.
Yep.
Will not make it. So it will take a D6. The one on Crux will make it, and the one on Curie will not make it. So roll me 2d6.
All right.
Ooh,
Oh,
5 and a
5
6.
and a 6.
So yours goes to staggered down to half. And the one on Curie goes down to 7 hit points left. It's in very bad shape.
And I think what that looks like is, you know, I'm grabbing my arm, which is still bleeding. I've just healed it, and I think the symbol of the Orion, or of the sovereign, whatever they are, the whole group of gods, is like a pentagon or whatever it is. So I think he makes a pentagon in the air as he says the word, because he thinks that these things are just dumb machines, as he says the word sentience, and then
Nice. That lights
out.
them up. And get that flash. Probably everybody has it, kind of the afterglow in their eyes when that happens. Curie, you have advantage on attack on it.
Yeah, I think she's going to try to just finish this one off.
If you don't mind me jumping in, did we possibly move past me in the turn order?
Yes, I think we did. I think I skipped you, Rutung. Yeah. I apologize. Thank you.
No, it's all good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna maybe move over this way-ish.
Okay.
Maybe even kind of behind Zad.
Okay.
I think, yeah, that's 30. Okay. And just shout like, Zad, duck down. And I'm gonna cast Gust again.
Okay.
My goal is to move it this way so that it hopefully, now that it's not like clamped down to Zad, I'm hoping to actually move it off Gust, to like skid it across the grease and off the ledge.
So it's strength
DC 12. Yeah,
strength DC 12, rolling with disadvantage. It will make it. It has a +3 strength bonus, mind you. So
right, but still, odds are with disadvantage.
Still, I know you should. This thing is with disadvantage. It should have failed. Is that a bonus action or a standard action?
Oh, sorry, that was my round.
Okay, let me do Crux as well. Oh my God, she seemed like a badass when you hired her, but her dice are not living up to that. That does bring us back, though, to Curie Three Blades with advantage.
All right, so she's going to try to finish off the one that's pretty staggered there. Let's see if we can do this with advantage, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And then she's going to spend her last bardic inspiration. So when she hits something, she can use one of those blade flourish move things.
Mhm.
And there's one called defensive flourish. So I'll roll extra damage with that little d6, but then I'll also get to add that to my armor class for the rest of until my next turn. So
Nice.
So first let me, I guess, roll just regular damage on this. I'm doing it more for the AC bonus than the extra damage.
Oh,
to be
yeah.
honest. So there's 4 damage to it plus the d6. So 6 total damage.
It is down to 1 hit point, and I think that is close enough to drop this thing. Blinded. What does that final stab look like with that flourish?
Yeah, so she it's kind of staggering around, kind of, pawing it because it's all blind, and I think she just leaps up onto its back and then just drives the kind of almost like not really rapier like, but just drives it down in on its back, right down into the back of its neck there.
Nice.
And then she's going to flop off that and try to, because she gets some extra, so she hasn't moved. I think she's going to put herself here,
Okay.
hoping to attract the attention of the beastie. So
You want to try and do a deception or performance check to draw the attack?
sure. She's always up for a performance check. Let me see here.
Oh yeah. Again, I will give you advantage.
I apologize because apparently all of the rolls are Lowell's monsters and Curie.
Yeah.
So
So I tell you what, I'm going to give it disadvantage on its attack on you. I think with two natural 20s, we've got to give you something for that. That is wild.
There are some other people in this world playing on Roll20 tonight who are cursing.
What is going on?
The opposite thing.
So what is your AC
One of them
right
is
now?
me, by the way, Joe.
So now, what did I roll on that one? A 2 for that one. Yeah. So it'd be 14, 16. 16.
Oh yeah, it will miss. Kind of turns to lash at you and will miss. This other iron defender. Let's see.
Sorry to interrupt you. Did they? Are they in Greece and are they supposed to re-roll the saving throw?
Exactly. We'll start with that. Oh, they're prone. So essentially, they will have to get up to their feet this round. Zad.
All right. Yeah, I was trying to. Okay, so I want to finish this thing off.
Okay.
So here comes Sacred Flame cantrip. Creature I can see within range. I'm gonna send flame-like radiance on it. Must succeed on a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. So 7 points of damage, or it
DC 13.
DC 13.
Otherwise,
Does
it'll take
not
7
make
points.
it. Take 7 points.
All right.
It is in very bad shape. What does that look like?
Yeah, it's lying in grease, and so the radiant damage is it just is supposed to look like light at this point. it's unclear how there's light coming down through the cogs, but somehow between the cracks, it's like light has escaped from the surface and found its way down. And strangely, as it hits this thing, the grease catches on fire ever so slightly, even though it shouldn't, and it cooks for a second.
I like it. I like it. Kind of popping sound inside of it. Ratung.
Maybe I'll just kind of shout to Zad, like, step back, and I'm gonna light a torch and just toss it onto the grease.
And is the grease flammable?
I mean, I assume.
So I think that'd be a standard ranged attack for you then.
Okay. I guess this might be a rulings, not rules situation.
Exactly.
I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Am I proficient with the torch?
Let me ask you, do you think that you're proficient with throwing torches?
I feel like it's actually probably something I've done before.
Yeah,
I'm gonna guess I've used this technique of like
feels
grease you,
improvised. I'm
then,
willing to go
and
with
then
it.
whip
Yeah.
a torch. Yeah, it's kind of like the skulking, kind of like underhanded fighting style that I think that I would be accustomed to, in fact. So I will.
It's like you're playing torch bocce.
I'll just roll the d20 and add 2 for my proficiency. 5. Any chance I have advantage because he's still in the grease?
No, he has disadvantage though.
Okay.
But I think you'll throw that. I think it will probably bounce and go over the side.
Okay.
Without doing that. So as a standard action, do you have a bonus action you want to take?
I'll probably just move back from it a little bit. Just use my movement to move kind of back this way again.
All right. Kruk continues to roll like ass. Kiri, 3 blades.
I'm sorry. Oh, I was just gonna say I really like to imagine that Curie is getting rapidly turned off by like how crappy Crux is now at fighting. I'm sorry, I just had to say that.
And it does seem like Crux is embarrassed. Like she's clearly kind of a badass, and she is having the worst day.
She'll probably need consoling at camp.
Absolutely.
So, gosh. I was gonna, so I'm torn. I was gonna try to cast sleep, but this thing's got full hit points, doesn't it?
It hasn't been.
It hasn't even been touched.
No.
So I'd have to roll really damn good, even to, if it even affects it. I don't know if that. So she's just gonna wade in with. I think she'll just wade in with the old rapier and see what she can do here.
Okay.
The inspiration can that be used to what do we use that for? Is that for?
You can use that for gaining advantage on a roll.
Can I take that and?
Yeah, if you have it. So have you spent your inspiration?
I've been using my bardic inspirations,
Yeah,
but you
have a point of standard inspiration which you can spend to give yourself advantage on a roll. Yes.
I think I want to do that.
Okay.
So, should we roll again, or do you want to use the 19 that came up there?
We'll use the 19 that came up there.
Okay. 7.
7 points of damage. So finally land a serious blow on this thing. And like
start hitting it because we're gonna be chipping away at this thing for a while. At that rate.
It is going to strike at you.
I no longer have the 16 anyway. I'm back to 14. So
okay. It will hit you for 6 points. And I need you to make a DC 13 strength save.
All right.
That will not make that. So you're going to take 3 more points. And it's essentially reached out and grabbed onto your arm, trying to hold you in place. And
Fury.
let's roll for this other. It will not fall. And it is going to. Well, it can't disengage, or rather, you are going to get an attack of opportunity, Zad, because it's going to step back out of the grease.
Oh, excellent. Okay. So I will hit it with my wrench. I'm just trying to think. You know what? I should hit it with my spiritual weapon because this thing is way too.
Yeah, you've still got it up. So
Yeah. Is that how it works? I don't have to cast it again?
yeah, it stays for the fight, I believe.
Yeah, it's like the duration. Okay.
Yeah, but
okay.
it's on a target. You have to spend your bonus action if you want to move it to a different target.
Yeah,
it
yep.
takes your bonus action.
Okay. So I think I had moved it to a different target before. So I've got to spend that bonus action to move it back to this one, or if it's an attack of opportunity. I don't know. Anyway,
We'll just give you the attack of opportunity on it.
cool.
But the
That's
die
awful.
roller is not with you on that one.
Yeah, so I'm surprised that Zad is surprised that this thing got up and was scuttling away. And so I think maybe I stepped towards it and I slipped on the grease a little myself. I feel like Zad has been getting away with not having to roll to see if he goes prone.
Well, you're not in the grease, so you're
okay. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Okay.
Now it's your action, your standard action.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Zad is looking around and sees. I can still cast if somebody's within 30 feet. I can still cast a buff on them without it claiming I'm exiting the fight. Right? They're not going to get an attack of opportunity. Okay. So I'm going to bless everybody. I think I can bless myself as well. So what I'm going to do is sprinkle a little bit of holy water that came from the university well.
Mhm.
So, clicking on it, but it's possible it's just one of those things that doesn't actually need. I don't need to cast it. I mean, I don't need to roll. I don't think. It's just
Nope. Everybody they get a D4, and it can be up to 3 creatures of your choice.
yeah. So I'm casting at level 2, so it's going to be me too. I'm going to get one
Okay.
as well.
All right. So everybody boop, 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 has that. And that's a standard action. What do you want to do
Yep.
with your bonus action?
Trying to think if I actually can do anything with it. Oh, I could. Does anybody need to be healed? Can I tell?
Kiri's
you do.
injured.
Kiri does.
Ratung is surprisingly in very good shape.
All right, I'm going to heal Kiri.
Okay.
Let me make sure that I mark off the blesses. My second spell slot. I'm going to kill Kiri. I'm going to heal Kiri. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, I got it. It's asking me what level. That's what's happening. All right, so I have to do it at level 1. So you got 7 points back.
Wow.
And I think for a second, maybe I'm trying to think. No, it was Jim's character that Zad had like an altercation with. For a second,
Yeah.
you just see a spiritual face that you're surprised that you hadn't seen before, who wants to like take you into their arms and give you some support.
Give you a big healing hug.
That's right.
Ratung.
All right. I'm going to cast Catapult.
Okay.
I'm on to like plan D now. I'll cast catapult, the goal being to like have like maybe if there's like a bit of rock or stone on the ground
Yeah.
that flies up and just flings at high speed toward this metal dog here, and
Absolutely.
it has to make a dexterity saving throw DC 12
DC 12.
or else it will take the damage. So it's basically
Okay.
just trying to dodges it outright or it gets hit.
It will dodge.
Great. Plan E next time.
I'm getting the best saves against you. This is really annoying. So poop. Now, mind you, your grease kept this thing from mauling Zad.
Yeah, that's true. No, it's
long
just
time.
it's I'm kind of enjoying like this superhuman metal dog that I just like I can't touch it. Yeah.
That dog's dynamite.
So
Exactly.
Lowell, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Given the time since we had our last break, should we, and given how long it's going to take to beat this thing up,
Yeah, let's just take a
Should we
quick
do that?
bio break and we'll come back, finish the fight out, and kind of move ourselves into the to getting to the site. So just take a couple minutes, do bio, and we'll be back. Good call. Carrie, it is your action.
Sorry, really quick. We've only taken like a handful of hit points off this thing, right? That one hit.
So
Nobody
right
else
now,
has actually hit this one,
it's been hit for 7 points.
and I'm all grappled up, right?
You are currently grappled. You can attempt to escape.
And refresh my memory. I can attack it when I'm
Yes.
grappled.
Yeah,
It just means I'm still grappled.
right.
Does it automatically do damage to me while I'm grappled, or
No,
is it just
it's just holding in place. Its intent is to drag you somewhere, but it's not able to do that right now.
sure? You know what? I think she's just going to attack it, and it feels narratively like dagger is probably the right thing. I'm not sure
Sure.
how you could. I'm not sure how you could leverage a rapier when you're a small thing in a large thing's mouth. But
Well, here's the thing: is I will say you are a bardic, like
True.
goblin with acrobatic flourishes and things like that. If you want to use your rapier, I don't think there's anything in the rules that says you can't.
Okay.
In my reading of the rules, which is
I'm sure you're
thin,
right.
to-
I
yeah.
mean, it's just sometimes that happens, and you're like, how in the heck were you able to wield a two-handed sword inside, this passageway? But I'll take it. So, all right. So I think she's just going to stay grappled and attack. So,
Okay. So unfortunately, that is going to miss.
wait, can I use my 1d4
Yes,
less?
that'll mean
so-
it'll hit because even if you were just roll a 1.
Yep. Excellent. And then, yeah, and so I have forgotten something that I had not, but there's a checkbox. So she has a fighting style of dueling,
Uh-huh.
and it adds a +2 to damage. And
Oh.
there's a little checkbox that I could have been checkboxing this entire time, and I have not been. There's a lot to keep track
So
of.
that's
here.
9. You missed it the last time, so that's 11. So we'll take 11 off. So it is staggered. It is below half at this point.
And then I think she's going to, so she has this thing that's a goblin trait called Fury of the Small. It says when you damage a creature with an attack or a spell, and the creature size is larger than yours,
Mm-hmm.
I can do an extra damage equal to my level.
Okay.
So three more.
Okay.
Because she's pissed right now.
Oh yeah. It is.
She
it
is furious, and she is small. So
It is down to its last a bit of points. It is going to try.
Crux, just
try.
once.
Crux is feeling very bad right now. Let's do its attack on you. 13. Does that hit? Okay, so it tries to bite, to wrench at you, and does not hit. And then this other Iron Defender is going to move up on you, Zad. No. It's going to run at the grease monster. You've been hitting it with catapult, throwing things at it and trying to blow it off the edge. It's going to come running at you. What is
Is
your
that it?
AC, Ratung?
Sorry to interrupt you, but is there going to be an attack of opportunity as a result of that?
It wasn't
I get?
engaged with you.
Oh, okay. It stopped being engaged.
Yeah, because it moved
That's right.
back.
That's right. That's right.
Ratung, what is your AC?
Yeah, it is. Well, I'm gonna channel Jim Crocker for just a moment, and what he wrote on his character sheet, and when he was playing a magic user in an old school essentials game, where under armor he wrote "my bare ass." So that's what I've got. Is a armor class 10.
Yikes! It will bite you for 6 points of damage. And I need you to make a DC 13 strength roll. No.
Yeah, I failed on that save.
So you're gonna take 3 more points of damage.
Okay.
Okay.
Dad, I fixed my wallet.
Uh,
Dad, I fixed my wallet.
And am I
And-
grappled by it then too?
you are grappled by it, yes.
Okay.
Zad.
Wow. Okay. He has a moment where he doesn't know if he wants to get involved again.
Yeah.
but realizes that's the wrong decision. He's also looking over at Crux to see how close she is standing to the edge of the lava. In the thought of,
It's 10, 15 feet. It'd be hard to push her off.
yeah. All right. So he's going to try to help Ratung.
Okay.
Because this guy looks like he could take 1 hit or 2 hits.
Like that little green bar is
It's a couple
it-
hits.
yeah.
All right. Okay, so and I've still got the hunter's mark on him.
Yep. And you don't have to move, remember, because your spiritual weapon is on him and it can hit anything within like 20 feet, right?
Yeah, but I'm realizing I must have hit him at least once without adding that hunter's mark on there. No.
I think so.
Um.
Hit him again.
Anyway,
And let's see.
Well,
We'll add
right.
some more in.
here we go. Like you were saying, Joe, a lot of stuff to keep track of here.
That will hit.
All right, I hit him, and so I'm gonna roll 2d6 and add both of them on there.
Yep.
Okay, because we missed the last one. All right, so give him an extra 8. So let's see. Wait, that was the extra. What is the extra?
That was the
spiritual
extra,
weapon give?
and he only has 8. So what does that look
Ah.
like when you absolutely squash this thing?
All right. So I see him running after Ratung, and I kind of size Ratung up and down and realize like, oh, there's a reason he was hiding. Like he's a wizard. And so what it looks like is this thing comes chasing him and just spinning. And it's what does its legs look like? It looks like a robot.
It's kind of like a big metal dog with kind of built out of like forged pieces of kind of sharp edges.
Yeah, so it spins around it, knocking its legs off one after the other until it kind of like just settles and it can't do anything else. And like you just assume that it's dead because it can't go anywhere.
Yeah. So absolutely you will and I'll show this, show to everyone. You can see the handout of the Iron Defender, what they look like. It's absolutely squashed. Ratung, this thing comes over, charges you, and then Zad crushes it. What do you do?
Yeah, I think it's just bit into me, so I'm just kind of like, thanks, and then I'll cast catapult on and try and fling some kind of rock at this thing here.
Okay.
So it has to make a DC 12.
DC 12.
Save. Dex.
No! 2 1s.
Wow, yay, finally, okay.
How much
Um,
damage does that do?
So yeah, it's gonna do 3d8.
Okay.
So it's a good amount for a level 1 spell, but it has to save, but yeah, so I think it's just like this rock just whizzes through the air and probably just as it and because it says the object that hits the thing also takes 3d8 damage. So
Okay.
I'm imagining like the rock just like smacks it and the rock just explodes, right? Because it's going
Yeah.
so fast. And that will be 15 points of damage.
Boom. Drops it. Smashes it, probably catches it, sends it flying off the edge. And they are all gone.
Was I still in its mouth?
Yeah, I imagine there's probably like a dog muzzle kind of stuck to your arm where it got wrenched off.
Wait a second. So are we saying
All the
that
rest
you,
of it's crushed and gone, and just its little choppers are still there.
Yes.
you threw a rock and the dog opened its mouth up to go chase the ball
Oh,
off
gosh.
the edge? Is that-
So you will gather yourselves together, kind of bandage your wounds here, and we'll see you. As I'm going to hard frame a little bit here. So you kind of move through what's clearly a like a sealed doorway that somebody else has wrenched open, both physically and magically. And we'll see you move down kind of this more open area, kind of a path down, and you can see that there is an encampment and some lights and glows, and there's a pretty sizable group of people there. Most notable are a couple of Warforged there. One of them quite substantial that is kind of standing in a way that makes you think that they actually might be in charge. And then some others. The thing that will strike you as you are coming down is that this group is standing around what looks like maybe some kind of excavation or some kind of digging that's been going on. The camps and tents are around outside, but this group of people aren't by the excavation. Instead, you see them standing kind of in a circle, and they're kind of looking and stuff. And you see as you come up, they kind of notice you, and maybe a little bit of defensive posture on their part there as they see you four come up. Maybe they step back and kind of maybe hands go to weapons, and you will see that they are standing around what looks like a kind of a bedroll, and you can see that there is blood staining the bedroll, kind of coming out from top of it, and you've been given a description and some identifying markers, and you will see the corpse of Bashalak in this bedroll. And all these people are kind of looking at you like, what is going on? Like, and clearly, who are you, as well as who killed this guy?
So the blood is fresh.
It looks like you would guess probably died within the last few hours. Now, given that the day-night cycle is, they were probably camping and sleeping. That is where we're going to take up next time. Please level yourselves up to 4. Meaning, you don't have to do that right now. Level yourself up to 4 between now and next time. So we've got a mystery. We've got arrived here with Bashalak. We've got some other NPCs on the table. We will go through who they are next time. I've got pictures for them without names. There you can check on the NPC tab, including the 2 Warforged. I would like to do a quick stars and wishes, particularly things you liked, but also wishes like what do you want to see next time, that kind of thing. Zad, can I start with you?
Yeah. So Lowell, appreciate the help getting through all the rules, and this was a fun one. It was fun to to really get the feel and have like the, you know, the lack of air and all of that, all those details down here. And Ratong, thank you for sorry, Tim, thank you for all of the support trying to get out of that thing's maw. That was really nice. And I just always love that Joe, you've got performances coming out. It just adds another like story flavor, slows things down, immediately connects with the settings and stuff. In terms of wishes, I would just say I really appreciate that there are the House Throsh. I may be pronouncing it incorrectly, but just having more of that come up, you know, just to add like a sort of either B story or another thread running through it, just creating a little bit of paranoia. Really like that. Would look forward to more of that.
Awesome. Ratong.
Yeah, star for me. I really liked the montage technique you did, Lowell. That was really fun. Did you say that was from 13th Age?
Yeah,
Okay, very cool.
I use it a lot. It's in a lot of different situations. It works really well. It's pretty fast.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was really fun. That was a new technique I didn't know about, and it was really fun to play. And it's something I think I'll definitely steal. So thank you for that. It was just, I don't know, that the whole way that the fight scene went, I think that was very enjoyable. You know, I think it was fun to see like Kiri just, you know, rolling those 20s, and Ratong and Zad were struggling, but that was fun. I think it was kind of fun to lean into that, like the failure of that a little bit, or like I don't know if it was on tone, but like the, you know, the absurdity of the situation a little bit of like fighting these things and like deep underground, and they're just like, they seem like they're unstoppable, you know. That was really fun. And so yeah, just a star all around everyone for kind of how that played out. That was a lot of fun. Wishes for next time. Oh, it would just be fun to maybe like at the beginning of next session, if everyone has a chance to kind of summarize their level up. I think that would be cool. It's always kind of fun to do a quick and just kind of learn about what people chose and or how their character changed when they leveled up. I think that's really fun.
Awesome. And Carrie.
Yeah, I will echo Tim's comment. I've read about the montage thing before from 13th Age, but thank you very much, because in reading it, it felt like I was like, ooh, I really like that, but it felt intimidating, right? And just having you do that, I 100% echo. I will be using that the technique now, and you kind of demystified it through the course of doing that. So that was awesome, and I also could see how useful that could be in all sorts of things. So that's awesome. Thank you. And I think I just you know, stars all around. I like Chris. I like I'm getting this image in my head of the paranoia, right? And like you know, wait a second, this guy, I don't trust, you know, even before you knew he wasn't who he said he was, you immediately distrusted, and kind of this whole, you know, they're out to get us sort of paranoia thing.
Yeah.
And then I really enjoyed, like, I actually felt like Ratong, that whole fight scene went exactly how it should with Ratong, right? Like, all right, plan E, right? that was just like perfect. Like, I almost in my head see him like, and then like marking it off. Grease does not light on fire, or the arc of the torch should be more whatever, right? And so I thought that was really fun. Wishes, yeah, I think maybe finding an interweaving of some of the, like, you know, what some of the one of the characters, you know, kind of backstory things in, like, to Chris's point, you know, a little side, you know, sidewinder or something, you know, whatever, you know, into there would be, you know, and maybe some of Zad's, you know, since we see that there's potentially a connection with Crux and stuff like that. So no, and more of just, the playing. It's good times. So
Yeah.
I really and I did have a quick clarifying question on.
Sure.
I could not remember. So at level 4, traditionally in 5e, you have you could increase your ability scores, or are you using feats, or are we keeping feats off the table?
What do you all think? I've done feats in 3.5 and other games. What do you think about the feats in 5e? Do you think should I leave that option open for you? What would you prefer? Any thoughts?
In the words of one of my friends, feats are cool. That's
Okay.
all I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll leave that open. So if you want to take a feat or an ability increase,
Okay.
you can do that. And I'll make sure that we tell Jim that so that he knows.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds
Cool.
good to me. I'll take a look through the feat system too, so I'm a little more familiar with it by the time we get to play. I will see everybody next week. Thank you all so much. It's a good time. Is everybody okay with me posting the video?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
great.
definitely.
I will see y'all. Bye.
Thanks. See you guys.
Bye.